Welcome back to Me. I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey with me, the allegedly fab, and she, he or they, the delightful Posh. How are you, darling? It's been a long time.
It's been so long, but we've had the Lamley saying, when are you back?
When are you back? Oh, Lamley, just desperate to hear what's going on in Lamley land. So we have been having a little break. It was for our mental health because we couldn't look at each other anymore.
No, we literally tore each other's hair out. So I did a better job of it, but I had to get mine's all fake now. I had to go get mine did.
Oh, did you have you had plugs?
Yes. Not in my head, but yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, you've been plugged. I see. Oh, no, a double DP of hair.
It's just, the extensions, darling. I forget they're in there, and then I shower.
Anyway, this is the podcast where we supposedly read Mariah Carey's memoir, but we finished that. So we did all her albums. We've listened to every single one of her albums, and we've started going to the regular verse and listening to someone else's albums.
Coming soon.
We're going back. I know, I'm terrified. But this week we've decided, because every time we listen to an album, I'll be like, oh, I love this one because this song has an amazing remix, and this song has an amazing remix. So I have curated a playlist of dance mixes, my favourite Mariah dance mixes, and I'm insisting on dance mixes because there are things like the Fantasy remix, which if you were going to do a remix is, best of, would have to be in there. But these are doofy, crazy dance mixes.
And we kind of covered any remix that had a video. We kind of covered.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of them. So this is like the more doofy remixes, dance mixes. There is a link, will be in the show notes if you want to have a listen to the playlist, if you want to play along at home, because we can't play the music in the podcast, or someone from Mariah's people will be around.
It'll be that old assistant.
Yeah. That's what, when I was putting, Mariah in the background here at the club on my video, Carey saw me and he goes, is her manager going to come and kick in my door and arrest us? I went probably.
Someone actually took a photo of Mariah. I just saw her in a cinema, like she's gone to see something. And I mean, it was overhead lighting. It was a selfie. I was like, she looked really happy in it. But I was like, you did not approve of this. Like, we did not sign up for this.
Tina Arena refuses to do selfies.
Really? But is that just because she hates everyone and...
What? No, she says it always looks terrible. No, everyone's got three chins. It always looks horrible. And you never actually have a conversation with anyone. But she said since she's refused to do them, she ends up actually talking to fans and having a chat. And it's a more meaningful exchange instead of, oh, here's some proof I met Tina Arena.
My sister actually has a selfie with her. So now that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was doing a lippy at a restaurant and some woman came up and said, I love your lippy. And it was Tina Arena.
Well, knowing Tina Arena was like, I fucking love your fucking lippy, mate.
Sick, hey. Let's pash. Anyway. That's what happened. Oh, my God.
We're problematic.
Oh, yeah.
These are all my dance mixes. But before we get on to listening to them, you know what has to happen because it's been so long. We have a giant bucket of moments to trawl through.
Gushing out.
Let's get a big wet mountain of me moments.
Me moments. All right. Well, we have to start with the most important one, which is It's time.
It's time.
It is time. Mariah has announced that it is in fact time via a video of her going from what looks like the regular verse back into Mariah's world, where everything is festive.
Yes, and in colour.
In colour. Martha Stewart took time out of her usual role of committing securities fraud to have a moan about Thanksgiving turkey.
Stoned with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. So she's having a whine about Thanksgiving turkey, but Mariah has responded in a tweet telling Martha she would never give up Thanksgiving and reminding her that she's never been invited to Martha's Thanksgiving dinner. And anyway, she would only ever come if Snoop was there because she actually likes him. We also have the lawsuit that was brought by Vince Vance and the Villains claiming that Mariah stole All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's been dropped because it was allegedly total crap, with the judge allegedly saying, if you want to sue Mariah Carey, you'll have to get in line behind Alison, Morgan, Patricia, Morgan again, and James Packer. So
Morgan again.
There's just not enough time.
There's not enough time for Vince Valiant and his vague attempt. And also just like, I wrote a song with that title and it's like, there's 52 of them, mate.
Yeah. And I have silly hair, I think was the other thing on that. On the docket. You have silly hair. You have Phil Spector hair. We can't do this.
Yeah, it's not.
So Melissa Fumero from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, played Amy Santiago, revealed that her husband David is in fact the hot guy at the end of Mariah's Honey music video. So she's been on one of the shows, one of the talky nightimey things.
Oh yeah, where they chat.
Where they talk and they get yelled at. They yell at waiters. There was a hot guy. She says, there was a hot guy that frolicked with her on the beach, as in Mariah, at the end of the video. Yeah. I was obsessed with that hot guy. About a decade later, she started dating David. Unbeknownst to her, it was him.
The hot guy.
Hot guy. He casually one time, trying to impress me, she says, was like, oh, I was on this gig in Puerto Rico. It was actually a Mariah Carey video.
I was in a Mariah Carey video.
And she asked him, oh my God, are you the hot guy at the hot video? Guy. And she said, his eyes got big because I looked psycho. I just went to the bathroom in my apartment. Right? I went to the bathroom in my apartment and had a silent freak out. And so then I married him. So it's like, I feel like that's, now I will marry you.
Yeah. I wasn't going to marry you until I found out you were the hot guy.
Yeah. I was going to break up with you tonight, but now that happened 20 years ago, I'll have to marry you. And another reveal from a music video is that Zach Braff of Scrubs revealed he was a PA on the set of The Roof. Which,
get out.
I know. I heard about this. I actually heard it a little while ago and then just kind of never put it in Me Moments. So I don't have the exact story because it was in a podcast, his Fake Doctors Real Friends podcast. But I believe that Mariah, it was in the elevator and spotted his hat and was like, I like that hat. And I don't know whether she asked him or someone else came up and asked and said, I would like to wear your hat. And he said no, he didn't want that because he loved his hat. They managed to get it by offering him some, incentive, I guess. And so she got the hat and did wear it. It just never made the final cut. Right. But somewhere out there is Mariah in Zach Braff's hat.
In Zach Braff's hat.
On a roof.
On a roof.
I'm imagining someone dangling him off the roof saying, you will give us your hat.
So this is The Roof video or just a general roof? A different video.
That was just on a roof.
Because The Roof has been remastered in 4K, I saw the other day, and re-released.
They should have popped his hat in the background.
Yeah, he could have had a 4K hat.
Yeah. Who doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want a 4K?
That's always the question. Mariah has announced some Christmas shows, one in Toronto and one in New York. Apparently it's Toronto, not Toronto.
Toronto.
Sadly, nothing here in Melbourne or Sydney, but you can probably catch Fab or I screaming "Oh Holy Night" in one of the Carols by Candlelight car parks. Something,
or just maybe on this podcast.
Mainly
because that's out of copyright. We can do that.
Yes, we can.
Oh, holy night.
Oh my God! The Christmas. That's more South Park than Mariah.
Sorry, I've got to sing regular. Yeah. That was a regular squeal.
I did send you that footage from Abbott Elementary of a very regular performance.
Yes.
The Christmas Princess
Are you loving the Cheryl Lee Ralph show?
I love the Cheryl Lee Ralph constantly. There are so many tweets from me to Cheryl Lee Ralph in the last 10 years. She's responded once or twice.
Oh, bless her.
But it's just me, as I was a one-man Cheryl Lee Ralph fan club. So good. I can feel it. So the Christmas Princess is unleashed onto the world.
Yes, the book.
I know. People are getting to know little Mariah. And yes, we will be digging into it. Once our copies arrive, I'm thinking maybe like 8 episodes per page.
Yeah, cool. Sounds
around
good.
That. Sounds reasonable. Don't want to overdo it.
Yeah. We couldn't do the last picture book because it was just the lyrics of All I Want for Christmas Is You, and we've done that.
And you'll probably be doing it again. Mariah has appeared on Fallon to talk about the book, and also to check her hair in the monitors.
Yes, good girl.
And perform a little skit.
A little skit where she was the director of lighting.
Yes. And got surprisingly topical with some of those jokes. I was like, this is not normally Mariah's shtick, but it was fabulous. It was
I think she's got, she's like, look, I'm bigger than the Beatles now. Whatevs.
Yeah,
I can just go there.
Yeah, and she did.
Yeah.
We had Millie Bobby Brown. I can't speak already. Millie Bobby Brown. Fuzzy Wizzy.
Puff Daddy P. Diddy.
Who has also confirmed that Mariah just wanders around her house squealing, which is exactly what we want to imagine.
I did laser tag last night, and I just at one point was just going,
oh my God.
But in really loud and squealing and just running at people. Going,
genuinely terrifying. It's people with PTSD out there. And then within this conversation, Mariah revealed that these concerts may end up on a streaming service somewhere. I don't know.
Christmas concerts.
Which means we're going to have some Posh synopsisizing.
Oh my God.
It's going to be really good.
And they can get them up really quickly because I watched one the other day that was done like 2 days before, and then it was on the Amazon.
Wow.
It was Who
was it?
It was a James Bond concert, but Dame Shirley Bassey did open with 2 numbers.
Do you know what?
At the
Shirley
age
Bassey
of
was
86.
Instantly the person that came into my head when you first started saying that sentence. I was like, it has to be.
It's a show.
And lastly, this is like breaking news. This is just hot off the presses. Mariah has been given an exclusive look at season 5 of The Crown.
I know.
While wearing a crown.
While wearing a crown and drinking tea like she's a royal.
With Cha-Cha and Muttley.
Yes.
And the first episode features her iconic hit Emotions, which I have heard was a favourite of Liz's, along with Get the Fuck Out. So
how about you get the fuck out?
That's exactly why I picked that.
Get the fuck out. How about you? Singing it at work again.
I had it on in the car today. It was wonderful. But that does bring us up to date with the Mimi moments.
Oh,
for now.
I feel drenched in moments.
Soaked.
I am moist from moments.
Yeah, Mimi moment.
Momentary moistness.
My Mimi is moist. For sure. Just for this moment and many moments. It's a moment. My Mimi is moist. Moist. Momo Mimi.
Momo Mimi Momo.
We're not even that funny. And yet.
You know what it is?
Momo Mimi.
We're stupid to the power of stupid.
I mean, I just imagine, like when you spit sweaty and you sit on a chair and it's fabric and like a light grey and you're like, I don't want to move because I might have a bit of a Momo Mimi.
Yeah.
You know?
Momo Mimi. You're going to leave something behind.
Yeah, put a little magazine down. Cover my Momo Mimi.
Is there an imprint of the new idea on your ass? I was having a Momo Mimi moment.
It was moist outside, so Momo Mimi. Oh my God.
Oh, it's too much.
So stupid. Okay.
Anyway, it is time to break it on down. Fab's fabulous remixes album that he made himself on Spotify.
And I'm now going to play in the background so I can remind myself.
Yeah. Plus, also, just to let you know, these I'm not infinitizing all of these. These aren't all my favorites.
Okay.
I have
That's
chosen
probably a good thing considering
a selection. So, because if it was all my favorites, it would be 12 minute 12 inches.
Yes, of Almost Home.
Of Almost Home. So I've chosen some that I love and some that I enjoy, but I maybe like the longer version better.
Yeah, that's fine. This was to make it tolerable for me.
Yeah, because I knew you needed a couple of 3 or 4 minute ones, otherwise you're going to lose your mind. And some that are just like, look, this isn't my favorite, but I enjoy it for various reasons.
Sure.
And it might be a 4.5 to a 5.
Okay.
But just knowing, because I've chosen these, mostly I love them. Okay. So shall we break it on down?
I think we should. Break me on down.
All right, we are going to start with the ultimate in Mariah Carey songs, written by Mariah Carey and Diane Warren. Can't take that away. Can't take that away. Mariah's theme. It's the Morales Club Mix edit. I chose the short one, even though I prefer the long one.
Okay, this is interesting.
Because you get the can't take this over and over and over again.
We like that. We do like this.
It just keeps happening over and over. So for this one, like it starts out gently and it's pitched up a notch, but it's still kind of almost the original vocals of the dance beat.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's,
It was giving me My Heart Will Go On dance remix.
Yeah, but the reworked bridge, amazing. I love that they've created a new bridge out of, I mean, it was the bridge of the song, but they've just kind of made a new one with a bit of looping of vocals back on itself. I like the radio edit, and it has all the elements I love about the longer versions. The Morales Triumphant remix is a 10-minute banger, I can tell you, if you ever want to delve in.
You want to go full 12-inch.
The main difference is the long one has 6 minutes of her going, can't take this, I can't take this. Like that's an instrument.
Yeah. She looped herself.
Can't take this, I can't take this.
That's like, after a while, it's just me. It's just me screaming, I can't take this.
That's why I started with this one, because I didn't want you to use it against me at the end.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So these are my notes. I did say off air, I listened probably about a month and a half ago and then again about a week ago. So I've already forgotten everything. So these will be as much of a surprise to me as they will be to you.
And you're very relaxed and I'm hitting you with some frantic music.
Yes. So what I wrote was, I'd love it if I was off my face.
Yeah.
But
you'll find that with all of them.
Yeah, yeah. As I go on, I make little notes just about what your life must have been like at the time these were coming out. So I think generally, like for me, this song is a ballad, so it's odd to hear it as a remix. Yeah. I think the first half, super solid. Yeah. My main question about it, and I don't have an answer for it, but I think because Mariah really plays with the belts in the second half of this song, it doesn't really fit into any structure by that point. And I think in a dance beat, you kind of have to have structure. So if you were the spots that they've chosen to drop the beat, I'm like, I would have waited 2 beats. Yeah. Little things like that, not deal breakers, but just like, oh, bugger, it wasn't quite as satisfying as I wanted. Let me have a look.
But then when you get the long version, it just keeps happening so much. You're like, oh, it's happened again. Oh, it's happened again. Awesome. Oh, it's happened again. Awesome.
I literally wrote, that drop was too late, Dave. That's my last note on it. I said, Mariah blasts the classic song structure open, and I'm not totally convinced that Dave kept up. So I'm really just going in on Dave at this point.
You are.
I'm sorry, Dave. You are very good, but there was just a couple of choices that I wouldn't have made. But if I was off my face, I'd love it, and I'd be dancing on the frozen heads after My Heart Will Go On.
I did hear this once at a club at about 4 a.m. Like they would always like, these would never get played until way late in the night.
Yeah, it was just you.
And it was just like, I would like, oh, I love this one, and would head to the dance floor, and usually the dance floor had kind of cleared out a little bit, and I would be like, woo, and for some reason I was like, a bellwether. Like I was the sheep that jumps over the fence that all the other sheep start following. So I'd be like, wow, and go and dance. And because I would make a big noise and start dancing, everyone else thought, oh, this must be a good song. I don't know. I'm very off my face. It's 4 a.m. And everyone would come and join me and be like, what is this? Like, it's Mariah. And then I'd be alone again.
Oh my God. No, the Lambs, they would have been Lambs, sorry.
But Lambs are sensible people, and they wouldn't be still out at that time.
That's true. That's true. I know I won't. So, what are we thinking score-wise?
Well, the triumphant remix, the 10-minute version, is an infinity for me.
Okay.
This is probably about a 4.5.
Okay, yeah.
Because it doesn't, because I love the fact that they play with that big vocal moment where she, in the song, it's like, wah! It's a big moment, and it just keeps happening over and over again. And it becomes like a refrain, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It's like, what's better than Mariah hitting a big note once, but 7 times?
That's it.
A repeated money note.
Oh my God. I'm just thinking of the Friends episode, like the moment where Monica's screaming 7. That's what I'm picturing in my head. Yeah, look, I'm probably similar. I've gone for a 4. It's certainly not bad, but I think Dave does a better job in some other remixes.
Yes,
here.
exactly. Yeah. I just needed you to hear what he could do with a ballad, given free reign.
Yes.
Because he, more often than not, her ballads are completely resung. But this is one where it's like, I'm going to kind of use what's there.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
All right, what have we got? What's next? Hit me.
It's Like That, the David Morales radio mix.
He's back.
How did you feel about It's Like That?
So
It's Like That.
The first thing is like da-da-da-da. I mean, you can
chickens
tell,
is ash and I'm lotion, babes.
like Dave Morales has a signature sound. Like, his remix.
Yeah.
This did work better for me. I think the chorus in particular worked well with the frantic kind of dance beat. I kind of enjoyed that. And I like that she's played with the extra vocals. I generally felt that it was a nice balance between the original
which is quite dancey in and of itself. Like, there's not much that needs to be done with it. But I like that she went and had, no, I'm going to have a play with it anyway.
Yeah, and without having to reinvent the wheel sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had fun with this one.
I was like, this is the kind of Mariah dance mix I love. Back in the studio, ramping things up, giving us a whole new set of fun vocals. And when she brings her vocal buddies to give it a big party vibe, like when she brings in the backup singers, like giving it a bit of belt in the background, you're like, oh, yes, we love that. And I like to imagine this is the song that they end up dancing to at 3 a.m. in the club in the video for the single.
Wentworth Miller is shirtless and
they're dancing to this
whistle
at the start, and then like they stay all night, and then she's like, oh no, I've got a different version of this, let's hear it again.
Yes. And I think this is one of the ones where if this came on at the club and you knew the original, there's enough of that there for you to grab onto, and then all this new thing, which is a nice balance for me.
Yeah. The long version has more back and forth with Mariah and the backup artist. So it's like the BVs and Mariah like kind of call and response almost. Like there's a lot of having fun. But this is still enjoyable. There's a lot of impro by the sound of it, and a lot of them just riffing, and it does sound like it does have a party vibe. Like it just... That's the thing I love is like a lot of these dance mixes, you go, well, it's been work. Like she's gone in and resung a lot of them, but they sound like fun. Like it's, like so much of her, studio recording stuff sounds very kind of structured and, like
she's layering it as it's coming to her. Yeah. Versus maybe it's in the bones later.
Yeah.
And she can just go,
it's like, oh, I've sung this song 14 times to make the single or the album track, and now I'm just called the girls and we're having a party.
Yeah. We're having some purple.
Yeah. And it's, and I really love that this sounds like This sounds like what is happening in the video.
Yeah.
Like they're at a club having a good time.
Yeah.
They're the girls.
Yeah. They love it.
For me, this is on the cusp of infinity.
Okay.
I prefer the long one and I prefer many of the others, but it is still a really fun vibe. I really enjoy it.
I think, I've been a similar thing within my scoring, which is lower than your scoring, but I've gone for 4.5.
Oh, yeah, that's good for you.
It's pretty good. Yeah. It's not like, oh my God, this is the best remix.
Yeah.
But if it comes on, I'm having fun.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, this is enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's not the song I know, but it's still the song I know.
Yes. I can still have a little, because I like at the club to be able to sing along.
Yes.
Yeah. The ones without lyrics confuse me. Like, why wouldn't you have lyrics and Mariah singing?
It's Mariah.
Silly.
Like, you can't just sample one of her notes and then turn it into a song. I mean, you can. It's not as good.
But more.
Seeking the truth never gets old. Introducing June's Journey, the free-to-play mobile game that will immerse you in a thrilling murder mystery. Join June Parker as she uncovers hidden objects and clues to solve her sister's death in a beautifully illustrated world set in the Roaring '20s. With new chapters added every week, the excitement never ends. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
All right, we're on to Dream Lover.
Yes, Dream Lover.
The Def Club mix. Now, this was my first mind-blowing experience with Mariah, going back in to re-record her vocals. So we're on to Music Box, third studio album. It's like, what is going on? She's dragged the Price Sisters in. What are they
Sarah
doing?
Sisters are right behind them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I know I made you listen to the full 11-minute version, but you have to have it all. And I know it's probably hurting you.
At least you did the courtesy finger of the first two songs.
Yeah, I know. I know how to work someone up to pop in a 12-inch. Because at first it sounds like she's been turned into a weird sample, and then the piano starts.
Yeah,
and she's singing, and you're like, "Is this Dream Lover?" Because Dream Lover was a very innocent, kind of youthful
and always
song on the album.
A really early idea of the hip hop influences. Coming in. Yeah, but
this is like yearning. Like this sounds. I need it.
Yeah. Give me that 12 minutes.
I don't think Tommy had any idea what was going on with the remixes.
I don't think he has any idea what's going on with any of the songs' lyrics. I don't think he listened to them.
No.
Because they were pretty bad.
Because Dream Lover was a single, it was probably focused on it needs to sound a bit nicer. Maybe it's a bit too hard-edged there. Give it a bit of, girly vibe. But this is like... Oh, take me, won't you take me away? It's like he is not hearing that.
Yeah, and she's got like a deeper sort of vocal response.
Yeah, and she's got there's a rasp to her voice that you never normally get, which I kind of like.
It's like when Britney actually sings versus when she pretends sings.
That weird
baby voice.
She does, yeah. And you know what? The other thing I love is just when you think this song can't get any better, you've been listening to about 8 minutes, then she squeals the entire tune in her whistle register. I'm like, how can you not love this? This is the best thing that's ever happened. As a crazy Mariah fan, imagine me, 1994, whenever this was, just going... She's whistling the whole of Dream Lover.
Oh my God, I never thought it could happen, but it did.
I've been listening to this remix for 8 minutes, and now you deliver this.
My Mimi is Momo.
You. Oh, very Momo. How did you feel about all 11 minutes of the Def Club mix of Dream Lover?
I did say, okay, this is what I've got. I said the best thing about this is Mariah understood the assignment. It keeps changing. There's the familiarity of the original, so you know who it is, but it's different. And I've literally, I've written, I think people would have been like, whoa, what is this version?
Yes.
I said, I can almost imagine a 24-year-old fab ditching the twink he was fingering to run to the dance floor at the sound of the first bars. I said I did feel from the 6-ish minute mark I started to check out because there was less Mariah and I wasn't tripping balls. But thankfully Mariah does come in for some squeals a few minutes later. So I think basically just chop out the non-Mariah bits and go from the first 6 minutes straight to squealing, and I'm happy.
Well, yeah, there is a radio edit, but it's just. It's when when things are edited down, you're like, yeah, but this is missing and that's missing and the other thing's missing. Like it's fun and it's still got the Price Sisters, giving it some welly in the background, but it's just it's just
not
missing.
the full 12-inch.
Yeah, and I love at the start. It's like, woo, what is going on? This is nuts. How is this Dream Lover?
Yeah, it is.
And then you get Dream Lover, Dream Lover, Dream Lover. Like, oh, it's the best.
And then we go.
I'm off. Sorry.
You are. We've just got this whole episode. It's just this remix.
So this for me is Infinity Land.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Full
I love it. I love it.
I think this one, I went for another 4.5, which I think is probably what I gave the original, roughly. So I'm like, I feel like this is as fun. And I didn't really, except for the non-Mariah bits, I haven't written anything about getting tired. So that's a good thing.
For 11 minutes, that is, for someone that gets tired in a 6-minute song.
Yeah, sometimes it's a 3.5-minute song.
Yeah, for you to make it all the way through, the 12-minute, 12-inch, I applaud you.
Thank you.
For having a little 9 eyes during the...
No, she kept it interesting, which is helpful.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there are some crazy remixes, but this is my favorite. It's berserk. It just blew my mind when I first heard it. I was like, what is this madness?
I'm now just going back to the twink fingering in my head.
Sorry, doll, I've got to go. Mama's got a move to make.
Oh my God.
So we're on to My All, which is the classic radio club mix, which you've probably heard a little bit of during the live performance on Divas Live.
Oh, yeah. I didn't click to that being that, actually, funnily enough.
Because she pitched it up. She sang My All and then went, I'm going to do the dance mix in the middle of the singing of the song.
Yeah. If I'm honest, I feel like I enjoyed that version more.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because it was the sudden contrast.
Yeah.
Ooh, hang on. We're leveling up. I do think this is more successful than the Can't Take That Away remix.
Yes.
And the bits... The best part I thought was the Just One More Night part. Like, for sure.
It's so good.
And
that's what I love about these remixes. It's like, because she does so many of her own background vocals, a lot of these are, come on, girls, come to the club with me and you can come and have a sing. And it's like, it's focusing on other people's voices and how well she sings with other people. Mm-hmm. But whereas normally it's just like, no, I'm in charge of all of this, Brandy.
I'm the boss of singing. I think the Just One More Night I would have liked even more of, and the new ad-libs later on, I kind of wish that had been all throughout.
Oh, there is a long version where that is.
Yeah, there is a lot more of that. Through. Yeah, okay. I enjoyed it. Maybe not as much as the last couple. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing with this song, it's such the original, it's such an elevated ballad. There's something new about it. Yeah. That it's hard to break me out of that because it's just its own thing. Yeah. But it's still fun. I would dance.
Yeah. I said my actual preferred version of this which is on the MC30 EP of My All, is the Divas Live concert version.
Sure.
Because you get the whole ballad and then you get the banging disco at the end.
Yeah. There's something about that that's like, we're leveling up, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. And this had some nods to it. The long version has more. Just One More Night. Feel your body, feel your body, feel your body. Like she goes on about feeling your body a lot. Oh. But this has got enough to keep me happy. But it's fun, but it's the longer version I prefer probably to this, but the best one is ballad segue into Price Sisters having a big old belt in the background and. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like but I just love that she can go, oh yeah, I've got a ballad that we can dance to. That's fine. Let's do both.
Have to show up that Canadian woman.
Oh my God. That woman who shall remain nameless came for Aretha. So what's your score for the My All Classic Radio Club mix?
I put this in between, so I've gone for a 4.25.
Well, you're in the fours.
I am in the fours. There's nothing bad going on here. Wow.
This is amazing.
Actually.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're going to get to a bad. I can smell it.
It's awfully close.
This one is probably I reckon 4.5. It's good, but it's not amazing.
Yeah,
and there are better versions of it.
Yeah.
All right, now we're on to we're stepping out of David Morales briefly into the Full Intention radio edit of Through the Rain.
Can we please step back to David Morales, please?
Look,
I think I stepped into the regular verse a little bit here.
Almost. I love ballad vocals relayed over a dance mix. Like there are some hectic Celine Dion dance mixes.
In the evening.
Oh,
Hello.
In the evening. Amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I don't know if you know the Celine Dion, Diane Warren spectacle, I Want You to Need Me.
No, but I can already tell.
Which has a couple of, drops where it's just vocals and no dance mix because she's hitting a big note in the bridge and they're like, turn all the music off and let her just go, me, and back in.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, we do like that.
But because I don't love the production on the original.
Can we talk about this?
Through the Rain.
Our little friend who does those videos, goes through them, he got the stems and was like, this production is terrible.
Of Through the Rain. Mm-hmm. I told
He's like, something is going on. Something's weird is happening in there. Couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's weird.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really enjoyed it. So I like the dance mix. And weirdly, I prefer the radio edit. This is weird for me.
Oh, instead of the full length.
Instead of because I love a 12-minute 12-inch, but dance mixes of a ballad can become trying. So it's like, this is enough.
Yeah.
And also I love that the dance mix for this gives the bridge more oomph than it has in the original song. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like the bridge has more to it because it's
raining harder.
Because they've manipulated her vocals to dump the key change and turn it into just a preternaturally long belt. Like they've just gone, we'll just flip her back on herself, and instead of her sliding into a key change, which sounds needy, we'll just make her just be singing for about 2 days.
It might get tiring.
She can breathe that long. It's Mariah.
Yeah, it's Mariah.
It's fine. But I think that the main reason I love this dance mix is because I feel like they've repaired some of the
issues,
the production issues with the actual song on the album, on the Charm Bracelet.
All right, are you ready for my...
You hate it. I'm ready to hear about it.
What I take issue with is it feels out of sync.
Yeah, it does.
I said the
and
vocal...
that was a style at the time.
Was it?
The weird syncopated dance mix was a thing
Okay.
in that period that I didn't understand, but everyone was doing it, and I was like, all right,
it's like
fine.
a mullet.
Yeah.
I said that the vocal in the track just feel just a couple of bars out.
Yeah.
And I said it's mostly the verses. I think Mariah should have re-recorded this with a slightly different melody, and I think the musicality of the remixer is questionable.
Yes.
And I just went, ooh, the shade.
The shade.
Yeah, there was a few times I was like, "That's the choice you made with the drops and things like that." I was like, "No, no," because part of the fun of a dance remix on a club when you're off your face, is predicting that drop and going, "Oh, it's so satisfying." Sometimes it goes longer, sometimes it surprises you, but this was just like, we put it in the wrong spot. Sorry, guys, we fired the DJ. That's how it felt. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm having a bad trip, guys." This was not my favorite. I'm sorry.
No, I totally understand. And that was a thing that was going on at the time. There were a lot of dance mixes that were like, is this off? Or maybe this is the way it is now.
And I think because I've done a lot more in that area in the last couple of years of my life, it's just standing out more to me. Yeah. Maybe if I was off my face at the club, I wouldn't notice it so much.
No, you never do. But no, I remember at the time, like when this album came out, like this did not sound out of place with a lot of dance mixes that were happening around that time that were all, and again, there's a couple of Deborah Cox ones, there's a couple of Celine Dion ones where you're like, is this
why?
Like, I can see what you're doing and it's a little bit off the beat, but sure.
Why not? Whatever.
Sure. Whatevs. Like, but at least you can still hear their vocals. They're not being drowned out like a regular person. So how few points did you give the Full Intention radio edit of Through the Rain?
Because I like the original song, I agree with the production, but the song itself I enjoy. I gave it a couple of points. I gave it a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is a 4 for me. It's I think it's
better.
Which is
your 3, really.
Yeah. It's better than I just think they did a better job at promoting her voice.
Sure.
And giving it the richness that it deserves in this song.
So rich. So
as opposed to the weird Casio Plinky Plonk that was in the original.
It's so Plinky Plonk.
It's very Plinky Plonk. The production is not very good. I blame Randy Jackson.
Oh.
He produced it.
Did he?
Yes.
I thought he was good.
Yeah, but
normally he was
probably very busy at American Idol and has popped him and push that fader there and then do that. Go bye.
Yeah. Paula Abdul's calling. I have to get out of here.
I have to get out of here. I can't talk to her for 2 hours. All right. Are you ready for Heartbreaker / If You Should Ever Be Lonely?
Is anyone ever ready for Heartbreak?
Junior's Heartbreak Club Mix by Junior Vasquez. Again, stepping outside of the David Morales.
Yes.
Which apparently he told Mariah he wasn't really feeling like he was bringing anything new to the previous couple of dance mixes, which I will agree. And he suggested Junior Vasquez. So I was wary because all my favourite Mariahs are David Morales.
Yes, sure.
They're all Mariah Morales moments are amazing. However, I know you're probably going to disagree. I find this epic. Because she's
somewhere in the middle.
She's weaving like an interpolation of her own song with that Val Young song. She's and just when it seems like her voice is going to give out under the strain of belting, because she belts a lot in this dance mix. At the 9-minute mark, she's like, "Oh, I can't belt anymore. I'll just have to do a whistle."
Yeah. It's breakfast time at Millie Bobby Brown's. I've been a squeal.
At 9 minutes of what is this, a 12-minute one? Like, this goes for a long time.
Yeah, 10, 20.
And it's hectic, and it's like it is hectic. It is very different than the Heartbreaker single.
It is. I believe this is the one that's in Bros at the moment. I think this is the remix that's on at the club.
When they're dancing.
Yeah. So I think Billy Eichner was also fingering a twink and then ran to the dance floor.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, we could probably run with the twink still connected if you felt like it. But
And how did you feel about the Heartbreaker, If You Should Ever Be Lonely, Junior's Heartbreaker Club mix?
I wrote that I'm happy Mariah re-recorded.
Yes.
I'm not totally sold on all of the new melody. I said I almost wish this wasn't a club mix, but just a moody reimagining.
Oh,
there's stuff in there that I'm
like a 14-minute version of
We Belong Together.
We Belong Together. Valentine's Day. I'm going to sing this until my voice gives out, Mix.
I said I enjoyed the nod to the lyric from Anytime You Need a Friend. I know it's not a direct sample from that, but it's still a fun nod back. I said it's not bad. I think I just wanted to like it more than I did.
Yep.
I wasn't bored, but I probably didn't need 10 minutes of it. If that makes sense.
You did. It's important.
You definitely do. Mimi, you're Momo. Momo, you're Mimi. Damn it.
I think Junior also did a couple of Madonna remixes of older Madonna songs around this
interesting.
time.
I've definitely heard of this remixer.
Yeah. He did I think it was like a prayer mix that was just like, oh, what is this? Like,
I can imagine.
And I have, I went through some spectacular Like a Prayer and Express Yourself dance mix times back in the day.
Course. Yeah,
and then to have another one resurface, I'm like, what? I haven't heard this one before. I need it.
Yeah. I think there was around this time as well, there was some Britney Junior Vasquez as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, some fun ones.
Doing some and just random weirdness, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that Mariah's just like gone, I'll just sing another song in the middle of it. I don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
I can afford it. I'm Mariah Carey.
I'm in the Moroccan room. Who cares? Snoop's here. Martha's here.
But yeah, it's just, and the lead songs on her albums often get a big boost in the remix stakes. Mm-hmm. So Heartbreaker getting
yes,
because the other thing is these remixes will come out a bit later to kind of
to remind everyone
to kind of keep it in the charts for another week or two.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, oh, I'm loving this, and then a remix will come out. You're like, well, I'm gonna have to buy it again.
Yeah. We've got to get the.
I bought 3 copies already, and now there's this one.
Yeah.
So, she knew how to get money out of the lambs. Yes. So how do you feel about Heartbreaker if you should ever be lonely?
Sorry, I'm just thinking in the back of my head that I just got the E=MC² vinyl. It was like, she did get some more money out of me.
Yeah.
Look, I've gone for a 4. Mm-hmm. Not my fave, but I don't hate.
Right. This is an infinity for me.
You're infinity. I think there's something else later that I prefer over this.
Yeah. No, I love how bonkers it is. And just, for I was prepared to hate it because it wasn't David Morales. Mm-hmm. And to go, oh no, okay, I'm on board. I'm on board.
I was wrong.
Mariah and Junior have done some fun work together and I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You're happy to be wrong about Mariah being amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm always happy to be wrong about Mariah being amazing. Because it's like, it was one of those things. It's like, is it Mariah doing the remixes or is it David Morales or is it something between them? And it's like, no, it's Mariah.
It's me.
She can do it with someone else.
I mean, David Morales isn't a person. It's just a pseudonym.
MC and DM having a party. It's just her. As you can see, she's on the turntables right there.
She is. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And just having a little tea behind me.
Now we're going on to Always Be My Baby, the deaf classic radio version, another Morales, classic. How do you feel about deaf classic, Always Be My Baby?
Now, this was an interesting experience.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't maybe feeling the best when I listened to some of these remixes.
Oh, physically? Because some of that bass can really upset your stomach.
Oh, my God. I said, Fab must have done so many drugs in the 90s. I said, I love that Mariah redoes her vocal, but I said, there's so much that's not familiar about it, so I feel like I'm having a bad trip. That's what I wrote. I said, I actually felt like I was going to have a panic attack because I couldn't grab onto anything. This is the panic attack one.
Oh my God.
I said, I know it's a weird description, but it felt like everything was going so fast and so slow at the same time and it wouldn't end. Like I'm in a weird dream, when people do a dreamscape kind of thing. It made me feel the way that I feel when I'm at a club and they are playing songs with no vocal on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I need to get out of this space.
I need S Club now. I need 50 cc's.
Don't stop moving. Original version. Thank you. I did listen again later and didn't have a panic attack.
Good.
But there is still something that just doesn't. It is the I can't. It really gets me.
A deep bass, and it is very.
It is not my fave.
It gets right in your gonads. It can really upset the apple cart.
It's like a physical nervous system reaction. I felt ridiculous, but I was like, this is not okay with me. I don't know
also,
why.
her vocal
it's like the brown noise.
Low.
Her vocals were fine.
No, but
no
it's
issue,
low.
But,
it's like it's the beam. Trying not to do too much of the melody.
You went full Gloria on that one.
But then she pitches it up towards, when she gets to the chorus. The melody is very interesting because it is the same melody, but it's...
Yeah, all I could think was like, I don't know where the fuck I am. I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad. I just didn't vibe with it.
Yeah. The long version of this has more of that echoey thumping bass, which you would hate.
This felt like a 12-minute song. And it was 4 minutes.
Yeah,
I honestly really was like, this is so bad. Not the song is bad, but how I'm feeling is so bad.
Oh yeah, you would hate the long one because those tones are isolated. They're just alone. Like it just starts with that boom, 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 boom,
yeah, no.
boom, 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 boom. And I kind of like them isolated. Like they're kind of fun. And maybe that's part of the problem with the radio version is that there's no lead up. It's not like you're hearing that noise and then there's other elements come in and then the singing happens.
Yeah, it's like you just dropped the pill.
This one is just like
you're already losing your mind.
You're in it straight away. But
obviously I just mean a Panadol.
Yeah. I like that how it's like Dream Lover, like, she's taken a cutesy high vocal and made it raw and deep and desperate in a way.
Yeah, I like the vocal actually.
It's in a way that the single's really sweet. Like, she sits on a swing in the video because it's such a sweet song. But this is like...
and also because it ties back to her childhood.
Yes, there's that too. But yeah, like the single, as sweet as the single is, this is dirty. Like this is down and dirty and raw.
And also because there's the other remix with Debrat.
Yes.
So I think that was a little bit more
cheeky.
Had a little more, yes, yeah.
But, come on. How can you hate a remix that has a bongo break in the middle?
I mean, we do love a bongo. That's where, again, Mariah. It was like...
It was fun. It's like...
I'm ready. Oh, my goodness.
So I give this 4.5. But the big long one with the extra wong-wongs gets a full infinity. But this radio mix is 4.5 because it feels too compressed. Again.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And I wonder if you would have less of a panic attack reaction to the longer version.
Yeah.
Because it gave
might
you...
decide to find out one day.
The wow-wows give you a courtesy finger.
Yes, true. Yeah. My first listen, I mean, I gave it a 1 on first listen. I was really struggling. I gave it a 3 ultimately because I don't think it's bad. It just even having it on in the background as we were talking, I started getting nauseous.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. Like it does. There's something about it. I just don't feel in my own body and not in a nice way. Sometimes that's a nice thing. Maybe I need to be high to listen to these.
Maybe.
That's amazing. But yeah.
No, I just used to listen to them in my bedroom. Like, they were very rarely on at the club. Just my own personal club at home. Ooh, dancing.
Club Fab.
Club Fab. We're almost home. We've got heaps more remixes to go.
Playlist.
I tried to make it a very short list, but not short enough, obviously. If you want to hear the playlist, it's over on Spotify. Grab the link from the show notes on whatever podcast app you're using.
Yes.
It should be in there in the texty bits. But we will have more remixes in the next episode. Are you making anything happen at the moment? Make it happen.
So my album comes out very soon, within like a couple of weeks.
Possible Prince X.
Yes. So it's on it'll be on all of the things, the Spotify's, the Apple Music's, all of that. There's also physical copies that you can buy through Bandcamp.
And you can buy a vinyl.
You can buy vinyl. It's 180 gram too. Like I went full Mariah. There's even a CD and it's like all using recycled materials.
Excellent.
And all of that. And there are little signed bundles too. So it's a little squiggle from me. So suss that out. And one thing I need to ask people to do is follow at Possible Prince X on all of the things because that's where I need to build up.
Are you on Masturbate? Sorry, Mastodon.
What is that?
That is the one all the Twitter people are fleeing to because they're terrified of Elon Musk. So they're all heading over to Masturbate. Mastodon.
Masticate.
And instead of tweets, they're called toots.
Of course. Ooh.
I know.
No, not okay.
Given how often my mother said she was going for a toot. No.
But yeah, I keep forgetting, like, that's probably where I need people to head to as well. So you can see all of the unveiling of the track list and all of the fun stuff I'm doing. It doesn't make any sense if no one can see it. So
I've been seeing it. They come in different colours.
They do.
They turn up like every day there's a new one. It's like, oh, that one's above that one. The other one's below. Oh.
We're counting down. So yeah, if people can check out at Possible Prince X on all of the socials except for masturbating and TikTok, because what am I going to TikTok about?
Oh, you could just play bits
someday.
Of your song.
I will eventually. Yeah. It's very hard being your own record label.
It is very difficult being your own publicist and manager, and it's hard work.
What about you?
I'm making nothing happen. Just my other podcast, Adam Richard Has a Theory, because there was a new episode of Doctor Who on a couple of weeks ago, and I've been going crazy over on the Adam Richard Has a Theory Patreon, reading comic books.
Fun.
And talking about them. So if you're into Doctor Who and comic books, that's what I do over there. But yeah. All right. Next, Mariah Monday, more remixes.
Yeah,
more dancey, wet Momo.
Moist me momos.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.